Welcome back to Wrestling on the Fly, everybody. I am your host, Scott Spade, along with my producer, Nick H., and this is a very, very special show. First time we're doing this. I actually have a co-host with me today, and my co-host is the first returning guest on this show. Who is it? The Metalhead Steve Stone. Your camera's over here, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
I didn't know what I was doing here.
You're all good.
What's up?
Welcome back as the first returning guest.
I am very happy to be back. That was a lot of fun. I got a lot of really good feedback from the interview, so
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Are you ready for the ultimate test here today and the very first new concept of this idea now?
I am, but I'm kind of worried because if I get them all wrong, like I literally have no reason to live, so...
So what I've done, we've come up with I'm going to probably title this a Ask Us Anything episode. So I'll probably put this in between each person's full interview. Not as a filler, but I want this as an actual episode. So starting out, we're going to do different territories later. So starting out now, there are questions for WWF, a bin for NWA, WCW, and a bin for ECW. There's about more than 500 index cards in these bins.
He's done the work. He did the work.
Oh, yeah. So each one pertains to each company in those years. WCW doesn't go past 2001, of course. Same thing with ECW, unfortunately, because they were done.
Yep.
And WWF stops at 2002, because after that it got changed to WWE.
You're right, yes.
So there is nothing after that, because everybody knows I'm not a fan of that. Hey, that's my opinion. But I know a lot of people like it too, but you know me, I'm old school as it comes, so we're going to do this in the way. And Nick has some questions for later that we're going to bring in here too. So,
is this an Ole Anderson figure? What is this?
That's a good compliment. I appreciate that.
No,
that's me when I had hair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
all right.
That's from 2005 when
That's cool.
when I had hair. So, you are going to get the choice now.
Okay.
So you pull out whichever one. It doesn't have to be any certain order. You can pull a random, dig around in there, just like a raffle,
like
or whatever.
Tell you to grab one, or me?
Yeah, if it's over here, I can grab these. You want me to pull an ECW one out?
So, and that's where I have the most
so I wrote all these, so I can't answer these. So these will have questions on them. There will be an actual question. There'll be true, false.
Oh, cool.
Or it can be a subject or a name. And just give me your opinion on it,
Love it.
And we'll talk about whatever's on this.
This is what I've dreamt of doing. This is perfect.
There's over 500 in these all mixed together. So. Very first one is... Ready?
Yeah.
Who gave up their spot to Terry Funk at ECW's first pay-per-view, Barely Legal?
Tommy Dreamer.
In the three-way dance for
sorry.
a shot.
I'll let you finish.
No,
I'm sorry. If I don't do it, my brain hurts.
A chance in the three-way dance for a world title shot later tonight against Raven.
Tommy Dreamer.
The answer is Tommy Dreamer.
Woohoo!
What do you remember about... That match was
That
awesome.
was... I remember watching that show at my sister's house, and it was just so awesome. I remember the miking of the ring was really terrible, though. Like, it was really, really loud. I think the Michinoku Pro guys shouldn't have been on there. I think, the guys like Axel, New Jack, all those guys that were, I know New Jack was being punished because he's kind of the reason they got pushed back off of pay-per-view for a while.
Yep.
So, but I was surprised Dreamer, too, like one of the founding fathers of, I guess you would say hardcore, but no, I think that was one of the best shows of all time. Just, I wish there was...
Especially for almost not happening.
Almost didn't happen, yeah. And then they said at the end of the pay-per-view that the whole thing blew up like 10 seconds after going off the air. So it was...
Tell them to go home before the thing happened. Yep.
And then it had all that, the clips in Beyond the Mat, too. I loved that in that movie.
To get his speech in the
so
back.
Cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
And just seeing, you always wondered, God, how did Paulie not pay these guys and get away with it? It's like, well, ultimate worker. He could sell an igloo to an Egyptian? No, I'm just kidding. An igloo to an Eskimo.
And how many, handful of guys, 6, 7, 8 guys that he owed over hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yep.
To? That still has never been paid off
yet
to this day.
And it never will.
Which one's next?
Oh, I guess let's do WCW and NWA.
It's just a name.
Okay.
Remember that now. If it's just a name, it's only talking about when these guys are in that company.
Okay.
Buddy Landel.
Oh, I love Buddy Landel. That's a sad story too. He was so awesome, and I know he was there in '85, and he was supposed to win the world title. He just decided to go on a coke bender and just not get out of bed that morning. But a lot of people say that wasn't true and that they weren't going to do it, but I think he did work with Flair and draw some money.
He did have 2 or 3 matches,
yes.
I think, with him.
And I know they did so well. That's why they thought of doing the Battle of the Nature Boys. But he came back in 1990.
Yes.
And we're talking about WCW. So yep. I almost went somewhere else.
You're right on point.
But I remember he did a TV match with Flair, seeing him against Pillman. He's just so arrogant, so good. But as a kid, you wonder, like, why is there another Ric Flair on the show? So you think it would be natural to feud the Nature Boys versus the Nature Boys, but unfortunately, he was his own worst enemy. So
I remember he was on Clash of Champions in a spot of like second, third match, putting people over. Yeah, like you said, Brian Pillman was on Mike
Couple
Rotundo.
Times, Mike Rotundo. Yep. Yeah.
You good worker though, but
I think honestly, he was they probably didn't want to put a whole lot of heat on him or a rocket on him because of his past and the mistakes he's made. But
yeah, if you're not reliable, you can't.
It's a big thing, reliability.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, your choice.
I guess we'll just go. Okay.
Go for it.
Am I reading? No, I'm not.
Yeah, because the answer's on
there.
Yeah. Give it away.
All right.
Your favorite and my favorite. It's a name. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, yours is Hulk Hogan. Oh. Well, there's 2 different. I mean, growing up, Bret Hart was. I was a Warrior kid, and then Bret Hart, and then the reason I got in the business was Chris Candido. So, and could talk about Chris for days.
He just might be in here somewhere.
I hope so. But Bret, I loved it because he could work with anybody, and when he beat Mr. Perfect for the IC belt, I always thought that was more fun to watch than Hogan and the Warrior and all these. I used to love those guys, but you realize they're very one-dimensional. And I remember seeing the Bret versus Shawn house show matches. They did a few of them, and just blew my mind because they're just different types of stuff and false finishes, stuff you didn't see in a Hogan or a Warrior match or things like that. But if I had to say favorite, I'd say Bret all time. Yeah, Candido obviously it was a little more personal, and I got to know him and stuff. But if I had to pick all time, it would probably be Bret.
Do you think anybody else could have done Hulk's spot if it wasn't him?
When they started to expand,
I think there's only
I
one
could
name
say
I could
Dusty
pick.
maybe.
Yeah,
but Dusty really didn't have the Vince look, but he had the personality where you could talk people into the seats.
Or that was there at that time.
Oh, who was there at that time?
Yeah, I think Savage is probably the only one I could think of that could come close to that.
Yeah, but he wasn't there till '86. Yep. So he went. He went to title in
'84. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, I would say JYD, but JY, I don't think he had the longevity that a Hogan would. Yeah.
Now, at WrestleMania 6, when he dropped the title to the Warrior, he claims that he threw up the suggestion that he wanted to turn on the Warrior when he gave him the belt at the end of the match. Did you ever hear that before?
Well, I would like to tell you that Hulk Hogan is full of shit and lies about everything.
There's a lot of claims. Yes.
I've never heard that one. That's an interesting one. I know.
I think it would have worked if you would have labeled him right there at the end after that match.
But you see too, when he came back and gave him the belt and raised his hands, he still got over more than the Warrior did. True. He knew what he was doing. I thought he knew what he was doing. He knew the Warrior wasn't going to be able to hold up. He had nobody to work with. I mean, he's working with Rude and Hennig and guys he's already beaten on house shows. Yep. So who wants to see them wrestle again? And then look at SummerSlam, Hogan was with Tenta, and he knew what he was doing. He's a master.
Greatest of all time.
Yes. To you.
You said it. Me. Yes.
No.
All right, I'm going to pick a WCW one this time. Who was Rick Steiner's partner, other than his brother Scott, that he held the United States Tag Team titles with?
Eddie Gilbert.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good. 2 for 2 on the actual questions. Do you remember that?
Oh, I love that.
88 era of Well, when they were together, when they came from UWF,
I was gonna say that was the best part because he used to have Sting and Rick Steiner. They were all together. So I know wasn't Eddie on the booking team in '88. Before he get pissed somebody off and was thrown off or he quit. Like one of the million times he's quit.
Every
promotion he gets mad and quits. But in all honesty, I remember Clashes, right?
Yes,
they
Clash,
beat.
Yep.
Who did they beat? The Varsity Club? Is that who they won the belts from?
Or the Midnight?
I thought it was Sullivan and Rotunda. I remember them winning, and I just remember it being a really, really weird finish where it was put on last, and it was after Flair.
Weird surprise.
And it was after Flair and Steamboat, right? Like they put it on right after that.
Or
Maybe
Flair
I'm wrong.
Sting?
Oh, that was '88. I think it was '89. Maybe. Whatever. That's fine.
Need a laptop.
I got the question right. I don't need to bury myself.
I remember, Rick Steiner coming in too, where he was kind of
the goofball. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's where they got the one boot, different colors and stuff like that.
And then they brought woman in to be the one to distract him and have him fall in love with her. Yeah.
All right, WCW time. Best finisher
in WCW.
Yeah.
Damn.
Got a good range of years.
Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Frankensteiner or the.
Would you take it?
I've taken them. I mean, Craig took it, and Craig said he didn't die. Right. Even though I don't know if they've said the story on here, but Craig saw one of his friends break his collarbone right before. Rick. Broke his collarbone, and then Eric Freedom says he knows how to take it.
Did
so.
Talk about it. Yep.
Yeah, no, I would be willing to take that. Not the screwdriver thing where he's got you up and just draw. I mean, they're putting a lot of trust into somebody for that.
Yeah.
I always thought the jackhammer was cool, but I didn't like Bill Goldberg.
Not the guy who was doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a cool move. I'd all the way Frankensteiner. Yeah, Steiners were very innovative for that time.
All right, ECW one. True or false? The Sandman is a Triple Crown winner.
In ECW?
Correct.
Yes. True.
That is false.
He won all.
He never had the TV title.
Didn't he beat He won the heavyweight a couple times. Tags with Scorpio. Yep. Oh, I answered too fast because I was thinking Mikey. Damn!
He
I don't like
the
that.
world title with Mikey.
Yeah. I'm going to twitch now. I don't like that.
You're going
to I put Mikey and Sandman together for some reason.
Yep.
I think Mikey's the only Triple Crown, isn't he? I don't remember.
Maybe. We'll find out.
All right.
Your pick. WWF. Ravishing Rick Rude.
I just always remember everybody doing the dance. What is that?
Somebody's
a dog?
Dancing up there. I don't know.
I thought it was a dog. I remember my neighbors always doing the Rick Rude dance, and like my sister.
The neighbors' dogs are talking. So.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay, hey, I was right.
They're answering for us.
All right,
yeah.
But then again, you mentioned Rick Rude.
Yeah, so they're howling. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Dude, his feud with Jake where he had his Cheryl Roberts face on his crotch was just, I thought that was hilarious. And then he pulls him down at SummerSlam, and here comes Jake, and he's got the tights hooked on his legs, and he took the best backdrop. He just go 100 feet in the air. Land on his ass. Yes. I don't know how he did that. Him and Balls would always land on their butts. I don't know how they didn't. I mean, I guess drugs and drinking, but...
Rude's got the greatest atomic drop cell.
Yes, he does. He was... I honestly think if he had I guess Vince would want a little more muscle for a heavyweight champion, but I always thought he could have been.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, and then he goes to WCW and he has an amazing career there. He was like one of the top guys. I
think that's why he left. He was getting.
Well, here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
My first show that I ever went to, it was supposed to be the Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude. Rude had been hurt. And he was still getting advertised for the main event. So he went to Vince and hey, I'm being advertised for this. I need to be paid. And Vince didn't want to pay him. Mm-hmm. So that's why I ended up leaving. But I remember going, and it ended up being the Warrior against Haku and Bobby Heenan. And as a little kid, I'm like, well, this sucks. But I mean, it's still my first show. I had a lot of fun. But I'm like, they didn't even offer refunds or anything. Mm-hmm. They used to do that a lot back then. But
I went to the show loop where it was Warrior against WWF champion Sergeant Slaughter in a cage.
Oh, okay.
I went to the house shows with that, and that was pretty good too.
Yeah, I think I saw Warrior and Savage in the cage. With Rick Rude, what was I gonna say? Oh, I think he was trying to have kids, and I think he came off all the gas and the test and stuff, and because he wanted to have kids, and I guess Vince walked by and made some comment about him looking a little small, and
shit, he never looked any different.
Yeah, the whole time I didn't think so either. But and then sadly, when he died, he was trying to make a comeback. He was on all sorts of gas and stuff, and it's like, God, you can't put that kind of strain on your heart when you're that age. I mean, he was my age. I mean, I can't imagine doing that shit now. But
that pose down he had with the Warrior at the Royal Rumble was
classic. When he spray him with something, the Warrior doesn't even sell it, and then he just hits him with the arm gimmick bar. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the all-time greats. Personality, interview, everything. Cut the music.
Just the arrogance and everything else.
ECW. What was the final pay-per-view?
Oh, it was Guilty as Charged, 01, right?
Final answer?
Yeah. It was, right? It was, because it was... Hold on. They went out of business in January of 01. It was in New York at the Hammerstein. I know it was at the Hammerstein. I think so, yeah. Final answer.
It said Massacre on 34th Street was the last
I thought
pay-per-view.
That was the one before that.
I think they did that before January because they actually shut down in January. So I don't think they canceled that next pay-per-view.
Yeah, because they still had the pay-per-views billed, and then they just never had them. That's all the boys were going on Hope, and
pretty much
he had already. What a lot of guys didn't know is Paulie was already being paid by WWE Vince, already. So it's sad because I was on shows where you're seeing these guys clinging on to hope that this pay-per-view is going to happen or all this, and they just no idea that it was just done. You've seen that crazy story about Dreamer wanting to go kill Paul E at WrestleMania, and it's like, how has he never gotten brought in for psych evaluations? I mean, I'm going to go murder Paul E on live TV. It'd be a great angle, and then I'll kill myself. Oh, JR just gave me a contract. That's okay. What the fuck? Absolutely insane.
Another ECW, true or false? Sabu and Taz were never tag team champions together.
No, they were, because I remember him working with Public Enemy, and then Sabu had to leave, and they put Rick Steiner in that place. Yes, they did.
So you're saying that's false?
Yes.
That is correct. Some of these
I had to work around my brain, yes.
That is correct. That's when he was the Tasmaniac.
Working me into a shoot there.
WCW. Ooh, a lot of names on this one. I have a lot of these. Who were the members of these groups?
Oh,
that's some of the best questions ever. Some of them could have a lot. Who were the members of the Dangerous Alliance?
Oh, that's a good one.
There's 5.
Paulie Dangerously, obviously. Rick Rude, Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson, Larry Zbyszko, Stunning Steve Austin.
Correct. Correct.
That was one of the best heel groups around. It's sad that it all went away when Bill Watts came in and ruined WCW in '92. Oh, you know what'll be good for TV? Let's ban going off the top rope.
Yeah. Throwing over the top rope. They took the mats off.
Unbelievable. About that. So stupid.
Do you remember which of those guys turned face out of that group?
Larry Zbyszko.
Yep.
Yeah. Because of the War Games. Yeah. The War Games. I think he missed hitting Bobby Eaton with the ring ropes, and then that's when they put him in an arm bar for the submission. Yeah, but I guess that's how War Games ends.
Yeah, they were always feuding with Ricky Steamboat, or Nikita Koloff, Dustin, Barry.
Yep, and Sting. Sting was the leader.
Yeah, that was good shit back then.
It was really good. That was a good show.
Yeah. ECW. Who won The Born to Be Wired match between Terry Funk and Sabu.
Sabu won the heavyweight title there, and then he dropped the belt back to Shane Douglas on the pay-per-view like a week.
Very short.
Or maybe like a day later? No, a week later. I remember that match being insane, though.
I remember the first time I ever saw that match, and that was just like
absolutely
unbelievable.
Nuts.
Remember the finish wasn't supposed to be the finish, but
no,
they got stuck.
They couldn't move.
Yeah,
they couldn't move. I mean, that's what happens when you use real barbed wire.
I've been in matches
I've been in matches where I thought it was worked barbed wire and literally sliced my hand. Oh shit, this is real, and I have to go tell Craig, hey, you might not want to hit that one.
Yeah,
but
and for Terry Funk to still be doing that in his early 50s at that time too.
I worked him in 05, and he was still just as fucking crazy, and he would yell at you if you weren't hitting him hard enough. And it's like, God damn, dude. I'm 45. My daughter hits me. I want to go curl up in a ball and suck my thumb. I don't know how some of these guys do it.
Yep.
All right, let me see here.
You're up. All right. Yep, you're good. Sorry. This one just has a name on it. The Hands of Stone. Not in WWF, but WCW he was called it, but Rugged Ronnie Garvin.
You know what? Recently, like, I never liked Ronnie Garvin when I was a kid, but recently I've been watching some of his stuff in Georgia and Southeastern. He was big, and then just like stuff when Mr. Perfect came in to where we were on WWF,
yes,
right?
WWF.
Yeah, and him and he would just have such good matches. Him, Rick Martel. I remember seeing him and Martel at the house show. He was very underrated. My favorite, only the funny story I could think of is him working Steve Lombardi in an opening match at one of the house shows. And it was literally 25 minutes, and it was Ronnie Garvin with a headlock on the whole time. And then you find out years later, it's like because they were stalling because there were people coming from a matinee show that weren't there on time. But as a fan and you're 10 years old, it's like, God, this is bullshit. You just put a fucking headlock on him for a half hour, and then out of nowhere, pile driver 1, 2, 3. It's like, okay. I'm like, I don't know if someone's being punished there, but then, you join the business and you're like, oh, they were stalling. Yeah, all right,
one of
that
the
makes
toughest
sense.
guys, I think, ever. The chops. And he overhanded him too.
Yeah.
So he kind of had his own thing
he would
with that.
He would eat up those job guys.
Yes.
Oh my God, sugar holds and all that.
His time, his feud. A lot of people shit on it, but his feud with Greg Valentine,
very good. I really liked it.
People shit on him being the referee.
Yeah,
but that was awesome as a dig to him by the evil Greg Valentine.
I just watched.
And he was good. And I know he was kind of bland in the promo, but
yeah, he was really bad promo.
The SummerSlam where Herc wrestled.
Oh yeah, and he's
Valentine.
The
he was
ring announcer,
and he made fun of him when he was. It was great.
The only thing I thought was weird of that feud, they do a match. Garvin beats Valentine, then all of a sudden Valentine puts his career. Let's put our careers on the line. It was literally the next week. I'm like, holy is Russo booking in 1989? And then he lost, and that's when they make him the ref, and then he got reinstated, and then he had his own the ankle blocker gimmick to block Valentine's. Oh, it was that
smart. That Royal match they had was
the submission match was really good,
so good.
And then he kind of just he went over,
yeah,
and then they put Valentine with Honky Tonk Man, and Garvin kind of just went down to do jobs, yeah.
But met him at the Gulf Coast reunion too. He's an awesome guy.
There was a Gulf Coast reunion? Yeah. When was that?
I went in 07, 08, and 09 in Mobile, Alabama. Oh. Got to meet a lot of guys down there.
So mad.
He's awesome.
And then
Danny Hodge. He hooked me.
He hooked
showed me a
too.
move. Yep.
Oh, he put...
Can I show you something?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And my father-in-law knew him.
Yeah. He's like, lock up with
me. So he did it on purpose.
Okay. He's like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, why? Like in a minute, and I was like, I couldn't move.
He was at the Iowa Hall of Fame. I brought my wife, and we were with my father-in-law and his girlfriend. And he's like, Danny, show him a move. And then of course he's like, oh, he used to be a wrestler. I'm like, I'm 200 pounds overweight at this point. I haven't wrestled in forever, full of drugs in me. And he's like, oh, let me show you. And he puts the headlock on. I'm like, oh, he's like, this is a worked headlock. And he goes and switches. I thought my jaw was going to go through the other side of my face. And my 4-year-old was going through my wife's old phone recently, and she's like, Daddy, who's this hurting you in there? She's like, he looks like Papa. I go, yeah. And he could also break apples with his hands. And probably the toughest man alive.
You shook his hand?
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel the power in that man's hand?
All that tendon power.
He's got big hands, too.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't be nicer.
He was in his 80s, and he's sitting there breaking the apples. Yeah. He could still do it. It was unbelievable.
WCW. Who was the team of Fire and Ice?
Scott Norton and Ice Train.
Very good.
God, Ice Train sucked.
Yes, he did.
Terrible. Hey, you got to bang Kimberly Page, though. That's pretty cool.
He did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, Page let her fuck everybody, man.
Was it the Eric Bischoff DDP switch?
Yeah,
the
pretty
wife
much.
swap thing?
Pretty much.
About that too, yeah.
I think it was him and
Bagwell
and
Playboy
Bischoff.
I think.
Who?
Bischoff's?
Was she?
I think he married a.
I
somebody.
don't doubt.
Didn't they push A-Train from like the power plant? They were trying to push the power plant because that's where A-Train came from.
Yeah. No, this is Ice Train.
Ice Train.
That's what
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ice Train, I don't know. Ice
Train.
He might have been because when he came in the first time, it was '93, and he was just going over guys, and then he kind of disappeared. And then he was feuding with Ron Simmons when they turned Ron heel, and he disappeared. Then he came back in '96. That's when and they used to have some bangers with the Steiner brothers.
Yeah.
But I heard someone told me a story about Benoit beating him up so bad that he came out and was crying in the back. Yeah. I'm like, that's really funny. I like hearing stuff like that. Too. And then you know what that guy did, and you're like, okay, it's not very funny. He's probably, but he was a big dude, and he came back to WCW when they were closing. And he was like some limo driver. And I don't remember the name, but it was pretty lame. But WCW was just beyond lame at that point.
ECW now. Who is the founder of ECW?
Founder? Mm-hmm. Todd Gordon.
Correct.
Yeah. I just got his book, and then somebody smartened me up. They're like, don't believe anything in that fucking book. It's like, Todd's the biggest liar. I'm like, God damn it. And then somebody told me the same thing about Brian Blair. They're like, don't believe a fucking thing in that book. Brian I'm like, oh, come on. I said, I haven't even read these yet, and you're ruining it. He's like, oh, they're both so... I'm like, why would you believe anybody in a wrestling book? But
Brian Blair's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, no, he does the Cauliflower Alley, and my father-in-law sets up the bowling tournament. When we went up there a few years ago, we picked him up from the airport and stuff. He was always very nice, but I never heard of him being a bullshitter, but probably is, I guess.
Won a bowling tournament there twice, 2 years in a
row. You did? Oh, wow.
Got the plaque for it. This is WCW.
I need to go before I die. Like, I haven't gone ever. It's sad.
Chris Jericho.
Hey, WCW. Jericho. You know what? If after Bret Hart, Jericho would be my second after that. Not now.
Really?
Not now. I think he stayed way too long past his prime. But
fans definitely did not accept him coming in. They thought he was kind of...
I was there the night in Chicago when he debuted with The Rock, and it was... God, I remember that place just exploding.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And just the obstacles he had to come over. He was shorter. He wasn't he was, but not as big as some of the other guys, and just the guys trying to bury him. When you can overcome that shit, you deserve your spot. Like he had Triple H in China, and all these people just stepping on him. They didn't want him. They protect their spots.
Yeah,
but the stuff with Shawn
in WCW to get going,
because when he was in ECW, it was such good stuff. But it's when you jump from Paulie to WCW, I mean. Hell, they were going to have him lose to Gato on the pay-per-view, and he had to be like, and he dropped his on his fucking head. Yeah, that was crazy. But he started getting over being a goof.
Yeah,
screwing people's names up. Oh, just the stories of that goof too. My God.
I know he never really had any serious. He always was kind of put with the cruiserweights. He had some matches with Benoit and Eddie and stuff like that, but he never really got that big.
And he tried. Yeah. He tried that thing with Goldberg, and it was getting over. Yep. And then literally Goldberg had to take and threaten to kill him. He's like, "I'm not working with you. Stop talking about me." And they could have made some money. And then Jericho choked him out. I think a few years later in WWE. He tells the story in his book. He's like, "I'm ready, and I'm squinching, ready for Goldberg to hurt me," and he just starts pulling my hair out, and then he just put him in the choke and everything, but. I don't think Bill Goldberg's very tough. He'd probably kill me. But, Jericho's dad's a hockey player. He's taught everything. Oh, yeah.
Back to ECW. What group was founded by Stevie Richards, Blue Meanie, and Supernova?
The BWO. I had the BWO shirt. I would have thousands of dollars right now if I kept those shirts. And I sold them on eBay in 2000 because I was graduating high school and I needed money, and I sold them for like $50. They're going for hundreds of dollars now.
Yeah.
The original ones, and the original Candido shirt that they had was the lamest shirt ever. He's just on there like this, and it's like
I don't even
no
remember
gimmicks needed,
yeah.
and it's just really lame. But at the memorial that IWA did for him, Tracy Smothers was there, and he saw me wearing, or no, I had a different one, but he saw it. He's like, "Can I have that T-shirt?" He tried to give me money. I'm like, just keep it. And then now, all these years later, I'm like, I wonder who has that fucking shirt now. Because I had the other one, the cartoon character with him like on
that
the
I
front.
kind of remember.
That's an awesome shirt, but I don't even remember what we were talking about.
The
BWO.
yeah.
I love the BWO. I thought that was hilarious.
No, but they first came out, they were just parodying. They did Kiss.
Yep.
The one time, and then they did the Freebirds.
Yep.
They did the Strut,
the
Fargo Strut.
Yeah, and then
they were the Fabulous Ones. They called themselves the Fabulous Ones.
Yes, and they did the
what else? Baron Von
Raschke. Yeah, Von Stevie.
They changed their names, and then for some reason, the crowd started picking it up, and then they actually made their own group, and there were signs all over the place, and they became a huge.
That was the biggest thing to happen to Stevie Richards. Then
it was
then they
and
started
the
taking
96,
him
97.
seriously. Yeah.
He got a main event spot on Barely Legal.
He did. And then he worked. Have you seen the match where he breaks his neck with Terry Funk? Terry Funk throws one of those fucking guardrails on him and just wham! And that's how he broke his neck the first time, I think. And you hear about that, and then, I'm retiring. This was 1998, and then he continued on, had a career like way past that, and it's like, man.
And then he got ripped up and shredded and tan and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it didn't look like him. He's one of those guys that you're so used to being goofy.
Yeah,
if he changes, it's kind of.
But he's changed so much. He did
that was
right
good.
to censor. Yeah,
he was a good mouthpiece on that
stuff. I thought that was really good too.
Another ECW. Who was the very final television champion?
Television champion. I think Rhino won both, right? He had the TV title. He beat Kid Cash before Cash beat him, and then he beat him again. And then he beat Super Crazy. Rhino, because then he won the no, wait. No. RVD lost. Yeah, RVD lost to Rhino, I think. Because the main event was RVD and Jerry Lynn on the last pay-per-view. Neither one of them had titles. Rhino, final answer.
Rhino is correct.
Okay. And he won the heavyweight title, too, to literally go out of business. I think they wanted to push him that just so bad they put both belts on him.
And RVD never lost the belt. Because he
got hurt. Yep. Well, I remember joking with Jerry Lynn. He's like, I put over that motherfucker all the time. All the time he's beating me clean. And the one time I get to beat him, he's got to have a semi-truck run over him. He's got to get shot in the head for him to do a job for me. And then you'd see them, and they would just be best friends together. It's like the definition of the business there. Just hating motherfuckers and then giving them the fake-ass hug with the knife going
in the back.
in and out.
Yes.
But that's literally how the business is. I remember doing that to somebody. I had a kid that I was helping train. I said, look, it's the easiest thing in the world. And I walk up. I won't say his name. Actually, I will. It's this guy, JP, in Wisconsin. I said, you just walk up to him. Hey, brother. And I'm just showing him. I said, you don't have to like anybody. I said, you just got to, say hi and then go away. I literally, he didn't, and he's laughing. And he doesn't even know what I was doing. I'm just like, yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
All right, you're up. Grab one wherever you like. All right, WCW. Who won the TV title 2 times, but these really big long dates apart?
Okay.
He first won it on 12/26 of 88, and then he won it again on 5/9 of 99.
TV title?
Yeah. He won it one more time after that, so he had it 3 times, but there was that much gap in between from 12/26/88 to 5/9/99.
You said TV title?
Yes.
Damn.
WCW/NWA.
99. I remember them throwing the TV title in the garbage with the Russo thing. So that was probably right before that, right?
Yeah, he had a couple years to go before that happened.
99. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, so December of 88, it was pretty much when now Turner took over.
Mm-hmm.
It was still NWA, but the programming was called, World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. Rick Steiner.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was.
It just clicked in my head when he was beating everybody up and like shooting on him, and he had the TV belt. I'm like, there we go.
Yeah, 11 years in between, and then he won it one more time after that May of '99.
Yeah, because they were just treating him like ping pong balls then.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
you got a pretty good average here.
I'm mad about those other ones.
You only got one.
I missed two. I thought. I'm mad about all these that I lost.
Is anybody actually keeping score?
I have a check and I have an X.
Okay.
So I'm going to put these back in for other people, maybe, but I'm going to keep their names on them and then X's or checks on here so we can officially keep score.
Cool. I just need to know how much post work I have to do.
This is WWF at SummerSlam 1991.
Yes.
What type of match was the Big Boss Man versus the Mountie?
Oh, jailhouse match.
I love that.
That
was one of my favorite matches. SummerSlam 91 was an awesome card
probably
all the way through.
Probably my favorite show of all time as a kid.
Just period. SummerSlams or just period?
Just all
really?
time.
Yeah.
Because I remember every time they would run SummerSlam, I always had to go back to school from the summer after it. So it was like my last hurrah before school started again. And just from the opener, the 6-man Brett and Hennig, and then even Virgil. I hated Virgil, but as a kid, you're like, DiBiase was so good, he made you care about Virgil. Yep. And then the jailhouse, the tag title match. It was. He was so good. He made you care about Virgil. And you notice after he went away, he wasn't. I mean, I think he had some good with Shawn, but that's just because Shawn is Shawn.
Yeah.
But we're talking about the jailhouse match. Yeah, I love when the guy, the big tough guy, comes up to him and he gets all like lovey-dovey with him. And then I remember my dad almost banned wrestling in the house for that. And then when he was getting fingerprinted and he sticks the middle finger,
give me your finger. I'll give you the finger. Yeah. Jacques was so funny.
That was one of them. And then when the Horsemen beat up Dusty in the parking lot.
Yes, with the bat.
Which I just found out that was, they didn't tell anybody. They just had their own camera, came up and filled it. Like the cops didn't know. Nobody knew this was happening. Yep. But yeah, that's when my dad banned it the first time. But this one was because of the gay thing and then the middle finger thing. Because, I mean, this is 91, so I'm only 10. Yep. So I don't know what any of that shit.
You hear, because Piper and Gorilla is on commentary, and you hear Piper laughing a lot in that match because the Mountie is so damn funny.
He's great.
And then just the shit that the working relationship those guys had between him and the Boss Man was just so phenomenal. Good. And the build-up, which they don't have nowadays anymore. No. The story was a long time running, and they finally had that. That's the first time I ever saw anybody kick out of the Boss Man Slam.
Yeah.
Because he did that. He kicked out, and then he tried to pile drive him. And then that's the first time anybody ever saw that. And I remember the crowd was like, whoa. And then he pinned him, and then they took him right and threw him in the back of the paddy wagon.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper laughing his ass off. And
watching Jack now, like I didn't like him as a kid, but I thought him and his brother as babyface tag team.
Yeah, they were good.
Great against
when they
the
first
Hart
came
Foundation
in
'86.
Yep.
And then just the music, their heel music is the greatest music of all time.
This is his favorite tag team. Yes. With the little flags. Yeah. That's the best shit.
But I think a lot of people, everyone said that Jack was he came off so naturally arrogant. Yes. That's why he would have heat with so many people. And from what I hear, he's a horrible person to deal with now, just with, where is he at? Montreal, right? Yep. Just not letting people leave his school. It's like this typical shit out here in Chicago. You can only work for me or things like that. I hear that's what he's doing now, but doesn't take away his talent.
No. Yeah, they were very good. They definitely had a lot of personality.
I think Pierre was even better than him.
Oh, yeah, PCO now? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
This is a WCW one.
All right.
Curt Hennig.
In WCW? Curt I was really excited when he was a surprise, but you could tell...
Yeah. Physically limited.
He wasn't... I mean, and then they threw him in the NWO, which I felt was so oversaturated already. I thought if they would have kept him in the Horsemen as Arn's replacement, I think that would have been fucking great. Mm-hmm. But because the NWO didn't want to get their comeuppance and actually put anybody over, everybody just stayed below, and WCW used to look like, the redheaded stepchild and just treated horribly. Nobody would get over. But
remember when he perfect flexed the Giant?
That was awesome. I remember that. I remember him saving Chris Jericho's life too on a Nitro. He did the lion salt and he slipped or something, and Hennig just naturally caught him.
Oh, she landed on his head?
And just grabbed his neck and he landed fine. And
I remember
another day at the office.
Him and Ric Flair had a feud again.
Yeah.
Remember, that's how Flair left WWF. He lost Losers League.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think he took his red robe and cut the sleeves off, and then Hennig would wear it to the ring without the sleeves on.
That was in WCW.
Yeah.
When he was the heel, yes.
Yep.
I remember, and he do the fake woo.
Yep.
He was so good.
He did a good swerve, though, when he turned heel.
Yeah, I thought so, too. I thought it was, but then the problem that they had is they were burying the Horsemen in all their towns that they drew all the money in. Mm-hmm. So unless you bring them back to get their revenge, you're killing the town. So, and that's what they did, and you notice how bad the towns died once they start, And then like the Horseman imitation, remember?
I hated that.
That was awful because they didn't get a comeback. They wouldn't let them. They wouldn't let them come out and even just beat their ass. They just, so, a lot of politics. I know he's your boy, but that's why I hate Hulk Hogan. And then got Nash and Hall in there doing the same bullshit.
Care for those guys, but more Nash than Hall. Yeah. I've never been a Kevin Nash fan,
and I never have either. But then I watch him, and he's just so naturally funny, and I'm like, God, I'm laughing at this guy. Fucking, he's like one of those natural. Oh, you hate me, but
I always he always treated the business like a joke.
Yeah.
To me,
it was a money grab.
Yeah, he's in there for the money and not the respect of the business, and I never...
Yeah, it was definitely a money grab.
Never a fan of that. Another WCW? Well, see, this is a long one. Because he was back and forth between WWF probably 5 times each.
Oh, that could be anybody.
One of the greatest just workhorses of a worker ever. Smoothest, Barry Windham.
Oh, absolutely. Until his knees gave out on him. Like, God, if you're talking like 87 to 88, he was probably one of the best baby faces in the business.
Matches, with Ric Flair.
With Flair, just anybody.
Made
yesterday. Yeah. And then even when they teamed, they won the tag titles together.
Yep.
But as a heel with the glove, like his dad when he would do the claw, that was really good. But I was just watching stuff from him in All Japan from '97, and you could tell he's done. His knees are dead, but he's working real hard. He's still doing a drop kick.
Was he with Bradshaw?
Bradshaw, yeah. I think it was the Triple Crown tournament, or not the
the league.
Yeah, the tag league. Yes, and.
They work Hanson in one of Hanson's part, one of the Deaton brothers, I think, right?
Yeah, and I just saw them work with, it was Towie and I can't remember, Akiyama or something, but
I know they did a tour over there for that tag tournament.
His knees were so bad, like it just sucks and that whole thing I've always said, if his dad and his brother didn't do all that fake money laundering shit, Barry Windham would have drawn money with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, because he had to leave because of that.
He had to take care of his family's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's why I always wonder, I'm like, why did he come up? He didn't work with anybody. And then he's doing draws with the Red Rooster on prime times. Like, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
But, no, I agree with you.
I think he was a good fit for the Horsemen, too.
Oh, yes, absolutely. My favorite Horseman is Flair, Arn, Sid, and Barry Windham. And I know a lot of people really, I'm like, I thought they were the coolest ones because I don't like Tully, and Ole was just... Ole was old then, and I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? But
that guy's a machine.
Yeah, definitely.
Barry's definitely one of the.
I felt he got gypped too. I think maybe Vince punished him because he left in '85. If you remember,
yep.
They won the belts, left. They put Spivey
because of
with
the schedule.
Rotundo.
He just he cracked and he went home.
Yep, and they put Spivey with Rotundo, and then. Let's see, he came back.
Widowmaker was the next time he came back.
And then all that stuff happened. And then when he came back the final time, he was the Stalker with the terrible makeup. And then they make him a new Blackjack.
Yep.
So, and then they've tried to revive the NWA, and he was working with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Jim Cornette was bringing the guys in. Yes, that's right. I forgot about that part.
That was the last shit he did in WWF.
Yeah,
I always liked him. I was always a big fan.
I saw a Superstars or Challenge match one time with him against Tito.
Yeah,
and it was a 15 or 20 minute draw.
Yep,
and
that was another one that on prime time. And that's what I was.
Maybe it could have been prime time. Yeah,
or it might have been
really, really good.
And he was doing draws with him and Terry Taylor, and you're like, okay, well, he's not going far if he can't beat either one of these guys. But damn, Kendall Windham. Always carrying his brother.
And then he was like this, too. And then you see him later when he comes to WCW, and he's finally big and bulky.
Yep.
ECW, who was the Dark Patriot?
Doug Gilbert.
Yeah, that's going way back now.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Well, that was because Eddie was still there. Eddie was booking, so he always booked his brother.
And where did the Dark Patriot come from?
Global.
Correct.
Yes, that was one of the better ones.
Yep.
They did the scaffold match in ECW. It was him and JT Smith, and I remember that being crazy.
Old
but that was when Eddie came out. Yeah. And that's when Eddie came out. He just wanted to talk to the crowd, and then Paulie cut his mic, and that's where all the drama happened with them. And then, I mean, where did he go after that? That was '93.
Probably I know Puerto Rico, or probably maybe back USWA.
And he went, and I know he went to Smoky Mountain. He did the one taping, and then he was dead after that taping.
I know he was booking for Puerto Rico when he passed away.
You know, I don't know if we've ever told you this or anybody. Chris Candido told me the reason he turned his life around was him and Tammy were in Puerto Rico, and he found out he was in the same room that Eddie Gilbert died in. And
that was his hotel room?
And that's why he was like, I can't do this anymore. And he just cold turkey, stopped the drugs, stopped the booze, and that's when he was trying to get booked everywhere, and that's when Ian booked him, and then I started getting him booked around all the Midwest. It's literally how he got his name. Oh, shit. It's how he got his name, saved his name, because he did not have a good reputation when he was using. But yeah, I always thought that was crazy. I'd be scared to death too.
Yeah, that's strange.
Especially doing the same drugs probably, because the pharmacies, all that are legal out there.
Yeah. This is WCW, NWA, who won a tournament on 9/28/86 to become the very first NWA United States Tag Team Champions.
Oh my God. I don't think I know this one. Tournament. What was the turn? It was the 86?
9/28/86. So before that, there was the NWA National Heavyweight Champion and National Tag Team Champions, which came from Georgia when they absorbed into that. And Arn and Ole were the final ones.
Yeah, they were
national,
the final.
And then Ole got hurt, and he was gone because he was going back to his sawmill, and his kid was wrestling all that stuff. So that title went away. So they had a tournament to crown the newest version of that title, which became the U.S. Tag Team titles, which became a really cool title.
Yeah,
it's weird to have two tag belts in the same company.
Was it the Midnights?
It worked. No.
It wasn't the Midnights. 1986. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev.
Would they beat the Rock and Roll in the finals or something? Who'd they beat? I don't know. Shit, I don't remember.
I have to get the answer for that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that one. I would have never gotten that in a million years.
Yeah, it seems like an off one because it's kind of hidden by Rock and Roll's, Midnight's, Fantastics, more signers.
And I remember, but then I'm remembering the tournament they won for the U.S. titles like later on in 88, 89, I think it was. Do ECW.
All right.
Better chance of getting it right.
Who did Mikey Whipwreck beat for the ECW heavyweight title?
Sandman.
That's correct.
Yeah. That was some crazy stuff. Wasn't that a ladder match? I think it was. Yeah, he won the ladder match. Because that's when he became the Triple Crown, because he had the tag with Cactus, and then he had the TV belt where he kept beating people. I thought that was an amazing gimmick, where he was just the kid who was terrified of everybody, and he would just go over like he's getting his shit kicked out of him. He's pinning the pit bull with his arm like this because somebody came in and killed the pit bull. I always thought that was really good. He was really good. He was garbage when he started, and then you just see, and he even said they forced all the young guys to get in with Tracy Smothers before the shows. And you notice it.
Oh, yeah.
After like 6 months to a year, they're like, oh, wow, these guys are really good now. It's because they were...
It shows you how good of a man he was.
So good. So good.
I'm glad both of us got to share experience with him.
I'm very lucky. Very lucky.
ECW again. How many guys used AC/DC songs for their entrance?
Oh, see that? Oh, AC/DC. Okay. Well, Back in Black was Chris Candido. Shit.
I've got 4 in here if you can think of any more.
Yeah, no, I want to...
Which is usually...
Big Balls Mahoney.
Yeah, which is usually weird because usually it's like one, but you don't want somebody else using the same band even, but yeah.
You're right.
There was multiple people that used AC/DC songs.
That's Rob Zombie. I'm going through everybody now.
Which is cool that
that
was the one company that was able to use real songs for
because they didn't care.
time.
And because they didn't care.
Yeah,
who did I say? I said Candido, Balls.
And Big Balls is Balls Mahoney. You got 2 more.
Damn.
That I thought of anyway.
see, now I'm going. This is gonna drive me crazy because the music was one of the best parts of that.
Yeah, I almost thought too that if he gets a question wrong, I don't tell him the answer.
Oh, that's not. Yeah.
For a second, before we started this,
itchy, the itchy brain.
I'm like, he'll probably hate me for that.
Oh man, this is gonna drive me crazy.
One's a tag team, one's a single.
Okay. Tag team, so many different ones. Pitbulls was Rob Zombie. Public Enemy came out to their own.
Your favorite song?
Song.
I love it. It's one of the best songs ever.
I don't want to take an hour doing it.
Candido's partner.
Oh, Lance Storm.
Yeah,
Damn.
Thunderstruck.
Yes, he did.
One of my favorite.
But he also
shows.
came out to Rob Zombie too.
Yeah, when he was with Justin Crutchfield and that later.
He came out to
because when him and Chris had the heel baby team.
Oh, that was amazing.
Was awesome.
That was one of my favorite
WrestlePalooza, 97, 98 was the very first paper I ever saw. And they were fighting with each other, and Lance Storm comes out first, and then Candido's right behind him to Thunderstruck.
Yep.
As soon as Chris comes out, motherfucks the thing, goes back through the curtain, back and back, starts paying, and he comes out, and he's like,
so good.
So good.
And they were doing that. They were doing that on house shows everywhere. Like, I don't know if you ever saw the fan cams, but they would work with different. A lot of times they work with different teams.
Yes.
And they were doing that with everybody.
So good.
Oh, so good.
When he got on the mic too, because Balls and Axel were up by Joey Styles, and they challenged him to do it, and then he finally came down, and Chris got on the mic, and he's like, we're always fighting champions. I'll defend it with anybody, and Lance is here with me too, and he just kind of just just that relationship was just so good to have the heel and the baby together, and they played it off.
And they legitimately were very close outside the ring too.
It was cool though to see when they started feuding with RVD and Sabu.
That was really good.
Then it clicked, and then they were like, we're working together now.
Yeah. Was good.
Those were good matches. Very good.
Then they turned on Lance and kicked him out, right? Yeah, they kicked out Lance and brought Bam Bam in because he was going to be the triple threat member, but then he was trying to earn his spot or whatever it was. All right, who's the other one? It's driving me crazy.
Tag team way back.
Okay, hold on. Way back, what, 93?
Not that far. I'd say, actually, way back in their existence. It was a big family.
Not the Funks when they were there. They wouldn't
Gimmick
come out
family.
to AC. Oh, the Dudley Boys. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
When they first got there, it was Big Dick.
That's an easy one.
They came out to Highway to Hell, and then
did.
Spike used it later. But the regular Dudley Boys never had any music.
No,
they never had anything.
That was good heat, too. Because I remember being at the first house show they did in Chicago in 99.
I was there, too.
And there's this drunk guy in front of me, and he's just being a pain in the ass the whole time. And the security guards got him to move, and all of a sudden Joel Gertner's cutting the thing, and a chair just comes in the ring and smashes him in the head.
I remember
that's what they wanted. They want all this heat, but then when it actually happened,
and Devon and Bubba went out into the crowd,
ready to kill him.
And
It was that guy. It was the guy in front of us. He had moved over to do that. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, if this is the ring here, that happened. The entrance was here, and that happened on this. I was sitting right here in that corner.
Because we were right here.
And I'll never forget that because that whole crowd parted when the Dudleys went into the crowd over the rail, and I was like, at first I was like, is there going to be a fucking riot? That's the feeling it had because the crowd was so nuts.
It did.
Like, man, how do I get out of here if something goes up?
And they went out there doing that on purpose. They wanted that. Because they've said themselves they didn't get to work the territories and shit.
They were some of the best heels ever.
With people getting stabbed or getting piss thrown at them or AIDS needles stabbed in them. Different
WCW.
world.
This guy, I think, is one of the greatest minds ever in the business, and he is gone now. We just talked before this.
Kevin Sullivan. Did I read your mind?
Kevin Sullivan.
Look at that. Yes, I agree with that.
All the booking he's done, all the gimmicks he's done. His work is but
he knows how to tell
absolutely
great stories.
And you know how much I love evil. There's no more evil person in the world than Kevin Sullivan as far as the gimmick.
I do feel really bad for him with all this Benoit stuff because everyone still thinks he killed him, and
I don't believe it one bit.
No, and even they've talked about on podcasts that were friends with Kevin Sullivan. They're like, that just kills him that people think that he did that. But
hearing stories from him from coming up with Eddie Graham and the Dusty turn and Mike Graham in Florida and just everything. another Smoky Mountain thing.
Oh, I love
when
that
he came in
one.
and hit Brian Lee with that spike. Holy shit, that place went nuts.
And they built that for weeks. That there was this guy sending in bounties, and then
the promos in the campfire.
Yeah,
out there.
yeah. And Brian Clark showed up, and then the Mongolian Mauler,
Night Stalker.
all these guys. Yeah, Night Stalker. Yeah. And then when Sullivan actually shows up, and that was when. I don't even want to say his name now because now I'm so grossed out by him, but. They said when Wing Kanamura came in from FMW and
he did.
And Sullivan's we're gonna get a little bit of color, but he like sliced his arm so bad. They said, and this is in some podunk town in Kentucky or something, pus coming out of his arm. So, they're like, we bring this guy to the hospital. He can't speak English. We're in Podunk, Kentucky, and he's got pus coming out with wrestling gear on, and he's Japanese. It was definitely a sight to see, but he didn't know that he was gonna like try to maim himself to get Sullivan over. But I think that got over.
Speaking of Benoit, that strap match.
Oh yeah,
that they had, and then the Anything Goes where they ended up in the bathroom.
All of them, yeah. One of those was in Milwaukee. I remember that,
beating the piss out of each other. And that was the same time all the bad stuff was going on.
Saying. I don't know if I'd be able to work with someone who like stole my wife from me. Like, I know it's a work and it's business, but that ain't business. I don't know.
It was weird to see him do the Varsity Club.
I always thought that was weird too,
because he's the evil demon guy controlling.
But people have asked him.
Yeah,
that's what it was. He said he was the demon
opposites.
guy, like recruiting athletes to become.
Yeah. And they didn't follow his gimmick.
Yeah, and that was weird. I agree with that. I never thought that.
He won the United States Tag Belts, and he won the World Tag Team titles also.
Dr. Death.
Yeah, and Mike Rotunda was the other one. He had such a long, unbelievable career, though.
Yep. It's sad. Yeah, didn't he had sepsis, right? Like
it's kind of at the last minute.
Yeah,
he was doing fine, and then just kind of went bad real quick.
Yeah, it's sad. I think Frankie DeFalco brought him in a couple times, and just the locker room just loved him.
That's where Tyler got Sullivan from.
Oh,
Sunday to Sullivan,
cool.
I believe.
Okay, yes,
I believe.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right, and that's why I say that's kind of cool that he would just work with guys that are just starting out and stuff. And
I wish somebody would meet him. He's legendary in Florida, of course. Where he was the best.
Yeah.
With the.
You know what I always remember is the Dungeon of Doom stuff. Sullivan with what's his name? The
shoot name
or
what he
Hawaiian
was there?
Guy. No, I'm not there, but
he's one of my favorites of all time.
Curtis Iakea.
Talk about the promo.
Sullivan! Just my sister would do that over and over and over.
And the dust
she'd come up and just go, Sullivan! Right in my face.
Yeah, there he was just the master.
And he wasn't there that long.
Yeah, master.
But,
then he was the wizard.
You ever hear
WWF too?
Yeah, with Kamala and Sika.
Kamala, yeah.
I think the funniest story I ever heard was he used to have a surfboard shop out on the beach.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And they would come and tell him, oh, you don't have a license, blah, blah. He would take a bump. He'd get sauce. He'd bleed all over the place. Oh, my God, I'm going to sue you. Okay, just let him have his shop. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. I've always thought of doing that. Okay, maybe. This is on tape. I'm not gonna
master heel.
Yeah.
But Sullivan's group had Woman. Fallen Angel was her name way back then.
Oh, yeah.
They always had the snakes and stuff. And
Mark Lewin.
Oh, Purple Haze.
Yep.
But that's where we know Jim Cornette did Leviathan.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
the Ohio
Absolutely
River.
The same.
Yeah.
The same.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just seeing him come up out of the seaweed. And Mark Lewin was awesome back then, too. Remember
Scary.
Bob Roop?
Bob Roop,
He had shaved his
I
face
remember.
and his head.
The makeup on the one side, yeah.
He was something Singh, right?
The man who tried to steal every territory from people.
Yep.
I met him in Iowa, too.
Oliver Humperdinck, I think, was part of that group or associated with it.
Yeah.
Florida was hot. Florida was really hot.
I wish people... it's just sad that back then when they would record the shows and just erase or like tape over it,
because they were so expensive.
It's like, oh my God, can you imagine what could be on tape nowadays?
And that spike too is he hit Blackjack Mulligan.
Oh yeah,
he was gonna go hit somebody. I don't remember who, but Mulligan pushed the guy out of the way, and he took it in the chest, and he's juicing and stuff.
And they did a match once where I think they were, maybe on TV where they brawled out and they brawled into this field where they used to run the TV, and they were out of sight, and then like. The next week, they started the show with them coming in.
Yes,
with,
him and Blackjack, right?
They'd been brawling for a week.
I've heard Blackjack talk about
amazing.
that.
I'm like, that's
all
amazing.
Dirty and ripped up and
dirt, blood all over. Yeah, I thought that was amazing.
Another great one too was when Dusty was getting all these awards and stuff, on the Florida TV show. Kevin Sullivan came in and Dusty had his sister there, surprise, and then he was going to go through. They were going to sign a contract. He took the inkwell, and threw it, and Dusty moved and it blinded his sister. You ever see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
That was a scandal because
was that the 80s?
It was 82 probably.
Oh, okay,
80,
yeah,
real far back.
Well, he had that whole devil thing got him in a lot of trouble. Hell, people thought he was a legitimate devil worshiper.
Watch the shoots
forever.
that he does. Back to the Territories, which is a
with
kayfabe commentary. Yeah, he talks about that him and Mark Lewin would wear their robes out to the grocery store just to get a goofy reaction because they had to make people believe. So he have his black one on, Mark Lewin have his purple one on, and
you watch his shoot interviews. It's like, wow, this is just a guy from Boston who
so much knowledge gone now. That's what's horrible.
That's the problem is when they all pass away, the knowledge goes away too. Unless you have it all.
That's
on YouTube.
why I'm trying to do this as much as I can.
You got them all on YouTube where you can go back and watch the old. Like when Gary Hart passed, that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And now Sullivan, and then Dutch is still around, but he's sick. He's getting sicker. And some of these guys, they've been hitting the head a lot. I mean,
we have too.
And that's where our brains go.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know. I worry about the old business here 10 years from now. I don't know where it'll be.
Yep. You're up.
Nah, do ECW.
ECW. We just talked about the music here before. I think the original flagship team of ECW was Public Enemy.
Oh, absolutely. Did I? I don't think I talked about them. Did I?
Now we're
on the other one. Did I?
Very, very slightly.
Dice Man used to bring them in all the time, and Dice Man ran these shows in South Dakota where we literally drove in a big fucking bus with the ring and everything.
Hearing about that, yeah.
And they were just the nicest guys I've ever met. They just went out of their way to help and teach. And I remember Teddy Rock wanted to have a singles match with me, and I was so excited because I was going to learn so much. We worked on all day where we ran up the rope and do the flip off the.
Yeah.
He was trying to teach me how to do it. I could just not get it. I don't know. It was just something with the balance, but. Yeah, Dice wouldn't change the match. He had to work with both of them, of course, with one of his partners. But I did get to travel in the car with both of them for like a good 8 hours, driving somewhere back from those trips to Illinois. I don't even remember. I think they were flying out of Illinois. But when Rocco died, that
affected a lot of people.
Fucked Johnny Grunge up, man. Because then I saw him once after, and he was not. He
went downhill.
Not doing
after
well.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see that Rocco had a totally different career before that.
Yeah.
As the Cheetah Kid.
Yep.
Japan and in high flying, moonsaulting and everything everywhere. And then he got a little bit heavier, but he still did all that stuff. ECW.
I don't think a lot of people know at the end, Teddy was on the gas again, like he was getting all bulked up like that. And I even said to him, I'm a dumb kid, so I don't know. I'm like, you're getting all gassed up, but you still wear the big ass jersey to the ring. Yeah. Nobody can see how good you look. He's like, I never even thought of it that way. but obviously that didn't do him any well because I think he had a heart attack in a car. I think it was at a 3PW show, I think, in Philly. They had just worked, and I think he died in the car. I thought it was like he was starting
just before, just after.
Car. Yeah, but ECW, I mean, I think Sabu was the originator of the table, and then Public Enemy kind of stole it from them, but they kind of made it their own thing. But
and the matches that him and the Gangsters had, oh my god!
Oh, such good stuff. And I felt like when they left to go to WCW, and then they brought him back to feud with the Dudleys, it was just like a popcorn fart.
Yeah.
When they came back, it's like,
I remember
we've seen you guys get the shit beat out of you by everybody.
The Dudleys teasing that too, and they did it very good because they were like, I challenge anybody, and then they the second week, they actually said the name. I challenged the Public Enemy, and they're like, holy, you think they're mentioning another company's people on, and they're like, holy shit, and then they played the music, and then they're all like, don't you look stupid? We got you. And I'm like, God, you think it's like, that's pretty good.
Then
the second
ran
time
out.
It hit and they didn't come out.
Then they ran out.
Yeah.
And then they didn't want to do a job for them, I think.
Yes, that's what I heard too.
And like, when I met them and did those shows with them, it was right after they had that shit with WWF where the APA beat the living fuck out of them. Where I talked to them about it, I wanted to word it away where I didn't get my ass kicked, but they're like, oh no, that was Terry Taylor fucking us, like putting, Terry Taylor put it in their heads that, oh, they're brand new, they shouldn't be doing any of that stuff, the table's their gimmick or whatever. So just like every other political thing in wrestling, somebody was fucking with someone to get a laugh, and it cost them their jobs.
All right, we got one more.
All right, let's do it.
WWF. What other company's title changed hands at the 1993 Survivor Series?
Smoky Mountain Tag Titles.
That is correct.
Yes.
That's a good one to finish up.
Yeah.
That was weird to see.
It definitely was.
That
it
happened.
Wasn't over. It was in Boston, so and
it was a great
match.
It
was the best match of the show, but
yeah, there was no reaction because they weren't used to seeing that kind of
no
rock and roll opening high spots.
They
type
literally
of thing.
The next match was Men on a Mission and the Bushwhackers dressed as doinks.
Yes,
so
I remember
they're
that
getting
too.
Totally different. Yeah, the opener I remember was really good, and then the next one was. What was the second match? This was 93. It was 90. It was when all the Lawler stuff was going on. You had Lawler feuding with Brett, and then because of the rape stuff, he had to get taken out. And they just threw Shawn Michaels in there. But it was the beginning of Owen Hart.
Turn. Yep.
That was one of the best things ever. He kicked his leg out of his leg.
Sure did.
That was great. Anyway, good stuff.
It was a quick
that.
hour, huh?
Yeah,
I like the concept, and we're going to keep going on.
I love it.
I only got 2 wrong. That's not bad.
Yeah,
look at how many we did.
No, I don't want to say.
That's pretty good. There are some hard questions
I'm
in here.
I'm hot about that now forever.
You can keep the cards.
No, fuck you.
All right, guys. We will see you next time. We're going to do this a lot more. This is not just the first time. So, again, I hope you had a great time as my co-host for the show.
Appreciate it.
You will be back for more and more and more and more.
We'll see.
As long as time allows, right?
My wife lets me leave the house again. After
We're going to film 18 hours tonight, so we're going to get enough. All right, folks, tune in next time for a special edition of Ask Us Anything. And on the next one, too, we're going to get some questions from Nick H. So I don't know what those are. So we're going to both answer those questions, too. So it could be interesting.
That's a good gimmick to do. Ask us anything.
Yep.
That's
so
really
anybody wants to write in, contact us on Facebook, messaging, Instagram, whatever. We'll take your questions, too, for the both of us. So we will see you guys. For Nick H., for my co-host, Steve Stone, I am Scott Spade. We will see you on the next edition of Wrestling on the Fly. See you later.